Thank you very much, David. Yes, my name is Karim Nejaim, and I'm the MD and CEO of ActivePort Group. And before I get into my presentation, I wanted to give a little background on myself, why I'm here and why I'm at ActivePort. I was 20 to 25 years in IT and telecommunications, the last 20 of which was with Optus and with Telstra. I held a group vice president role with the Singtel group between Optus and Singtel. And I finished up at Telstra at the beginning of last year, where I was executive director of product engineering, building all of Telstra's products across all technologies and across all segments. And I decided to get out of large corporate and do some board roles. I was introduced to ActivePort. I was offered a board role by the chairman, but started working with the team around about July, August last year, and discovered a technology capability that I think can change the way connectivity and telecommunications is done globally. ActivePort makes money two ways. We make money out of the services we sell, but of most interest to investor community like yourselves is the high margin monthly reoccurring revenue we make from our software. And so today I won't do a deep dive on the software we have and the technology, but what I will stay with is purely the software side, explain where we're at, explain the market we're moving into, and give you an overview without the deep dive of the tech. So if I could have the first slide. As I said, what we are about is connecting the world, making it simple globally. And so we sell software to telecommunications companies and enterprise and connect those companies all around the world with our global edge capability, our network all around the world. If I can have the next slide, please. To give everyone an idea of the market we're playing in, as David mentioned in the introduction, we produce software for orchestration. We produce software to connect cloud. We produce software in SD-WAN, which is software-defined wide area networking. ActivePort is at the middle of two of the fastest growing areas in enterprise networking globally. The first is SD-WAN. And as you can see on the screen, Gartner expects SD-WAN to grow at 76% CAGR for the next 5 years. Similarly, cloud-based computing will grow at 50% for the next 5 years. So we're at the joining point in making networking globally simple, cloud connectivity simple, and hanging all of this together really simply from a single pane of glass. So on the next slide, you'll see why I was so excited when I first saw what ActivePort did. It won't be apparent if you haven't spent most of your career in technology, but what we have at ActivePort in our software is unique. Being able to control hardware, switches and routers, interconnect carriers like Console Connect, Equinix, Vocus, and others, and cloud providers, all from one single view. So you can build network connectivity all the way from an office in Tokyo to an office in London in one screen, integrate cloud services. And what we're ultimately about is helping telecommunications customers, the enterprise customers that we get through those telcos, and our enterprise customers have a single place to take away all of that complexity in dealing with technology across a city, across a country, or across the world. So on to the next slide, please. One thing I wanted to make very clear to everybody is our model is that we sell via managed service providers and telecommunications companies. Yes, we've started doing some work in enterprise, but what we have found is globally a huge amount of interest in our software from managed service providers, i.e. those that provide services locally, and telecommunications companies all around the world. So at the moment, we have a pipeline of 150 managed service providers around the world. We have a number of telecommunications companies we're working with around the world across our 8 global sales zones. And to make it clear, our customers end up being the customers of those telecommunications companies or managed service providers. The reason we're attractive is that we have super high quality software that's as good as anybody else's in the world from a software-defined networking perspective, a unique capability around our orchestration, and extremely well priced in the market globally on SD-WAN. And one of the things we do, which is very unusual in the market, is that we white label our software for use by a telecommunications company or a managed service provider. So if I'm company X selling to my customers, I don't have ActivePort SD-WAN I'm selling X SD-WAN to their customers. So it makes it very sticky for the customers of those managed service providers and telecommunications companies. So on to the next slide for me, please. One of the things that we found as we started working on our software and selling it was that we had to move very quickly to a position where we could deliver anywhere in the world. So we have aggregators, which are essentially points of coordination spread all around the world, so we can access our customers globally across Africa, South America, Australia, Southeast Asia. These points of presence are unlike some of our competition in that they are cloud-based routers, essentially, or cloud-based management points. We can turn these up and down in a matter of hours and put them near our customers where required. We very quickly found out we had to move to a global footprint and quickly. On the next slide, you'll see how we're utilizing that global footprint. So one of our key partners and a company through which we are selling our SD-WAN product is PCCW Global. PCCW Global is a key partner for us to get all of that reach globally. And for those who don't know, PCCW Global is one of the biggest carriers and telecommunications companies in the world. Our CTO, Mark Middleton, was with the CEO of PCCW Global yesterday on a conference held out of Hawaii to explain what we're doing in automation and what we're doing around orchestration and SD-WAN all around the globe. Radian Arc is our present biggest customer for orchestration in the world. Radian Arc are rolling out their edge gaming capability globally now, and we have our software coordinating that for the gaming platform all around the world. And they're also helping us with sales into Asia and into North America. But on the right-hand side of the slide, you can see we have an increasing number of partners that we're working with through Southeast Asia, South America, Africa, USA, and Oceania. And to just reiterate, we sell through our partners, through these managed service providers and through these telcos to get our software out and used by our customers worldwide. The next slide, please. So over the course of last year and into this year, we had an increase in our software sales of 162% annualized, up from our FY21 numbers. But what we're seeing inside ActivePort Group now is an increased number of partners signing up to sell our software in Australia and around the world. And as you can see from this graph, we're starting to see the hockey sticking effect of customers, potential customers and partners coming to us, doing a proof of concept with our software, seeing what it is capable of doing, and joining up with us to sell our software to theirs. So in Australia, we have 17 partners joined up with us now. That's expected to grow for the rest of this year and continually through the rest of FY22. But we are deploying our SD-WAN and orchestration software in 14 countries around the world right now. So the good thing for us is that the revenue associated with these rollouts will increase over the course of the rest of this financial year and the financial year beyond. And I'm proud to say a very, very small number of our potential customers have come back to us and said, no, we don't wish to pursue a deal with you. We have a very, very high percentage of turning on customers once they've seen our product and once they've seen a proof of concept. So in my last slide, I wanted to go back to the overall, our second last slide, our overall position. We have, as I said, services revenue and we have software revenue. Our services revenue is going very, very strongly and very much underpins the company as we grow. We had a very, very strong start to the beginning of the financial year with a bit over $1 million in October. And that's expected to grow as per the graph you can see here through the rest of this financial year. And we expect to do at least in line or outdo the services revenue component for managed services providers in like markets in Australia and around the world. But that forms a strong basis for our revenue growth as our partners sell our software into their customers. So the last point I'll make, and on the last slide, if I may, just to reiterate, using our software, customers create connectivity, integrate cloud services, manage their hardware on a local, national, or global scale, all from one screen, all from one single pane of glass. And for our customers, what they get from that is simplicity, agility, speed, lower costs, and an opportunity to turn on new revenue streams. So that is ActivePort Group in 10 minutes.
Brilliant. Thank you for that. That was a great presentation. One question, coming out of big corporate into somewhat a smaller environment, are you excited by the opportunity? Was that the size of the prize, understanding some of the pain points that a telco has? Was that, once you saw it, became very clear to you and why it was obvious for you to jump into this role?
Absolutely. One of the things that I wanted to do for years in telco, and I tried to create a software capability like ActivePort several times in my career, is and it's around a 100% focus on customers. Customers, technology users are not as interested in the technology as technology companies sometimes believe. What people want is a piece of software that can help, that can facilitate that end-to-end connectivity and just make it simple for them. If there's one thing I've learned in 20 years of telecommunications as an executive is customers just want it to be simple. I saw that opportunity coming into ActivePort. That's why when I was offered the CEO role, I grabbed it with both hands. You can probably tell I remain excited about the opportunity.
Excellent. Now, how competitive is this space and how does ActivePort defend its position?
The market we're in is around automation, orchestration, and software-defined wide area networking. Software-defined wide area networking is competitive. We're up against some big players, Cisco, Fortinet, and others. However, we're finding that there is strong interest in our product to replace some of those big guys. Our stuff is easier to use. It is at a far better price point. It's much more flexible to use. But to our knowledge, there is not another software company out there that produces software-defined networking software for SD-WAN and orchestration and that entire capability in one box. So we remain unique. What that means is you can go with a standard supplier and you only get about 1/10 of what you get when you come with ActivePort. We're very conscious, though, that we have that technology advantage for a year, potentially 18 months. And as Apple have found and the really big guys, technology advantage lasts so long. The focus on customer makes the really big difference. And we believe with the quality of our software, the ease of use and the simplicity we present, that our product will, there'll be no reason to move our product out of customers' networks and environments once they have it.
One last question. For potential customers from the software part of your business, for potential customers, is it obvious to them when they see the product and the price point that they should jump in, or is there a bit of a gestation period to bring them on?
There's a couple of answers to that. There's a thing we're now starting to call in ActivePort the 40th minute of the presentation. because we don't fit into a standard model with SD-WAN or orchestration or automation, and talking to people like Gartner, they would like to put us in a box. They'd like to say, well, hang on, we'd like to put you in this magic quadrant or this. So, well, hang on, we're actually across all of that. There is an aha moment for our customers where they say, oh, you can help us with all of this. That's super important for us. And it's the point at which it becomes quite sticky for a customer to realize what we can do. We then need to help them over a period of months to get ready to sell our product from a training perspective, a marketing perspective, and getting their sales team ready to sell, which takes around about a quarter from the first conversation to the moment we turn on revenue. But there is that lovely 40th minute where, you know, very experienced technology leaders and business leaders go, aha, we understand how you can help, please. Welcome, come in.